Hello everybody, welcome back to the Bison Workshop. I'm Bob, and I'm sitting here having my Trump coffee and thought I would do a little video on how to fix something on your scope. I've never had this problem before. This is the first time I've ever had this problem. All the rest of them seem to be fine, but it happens. Um, it didn't get enough glue on it, and I'll show you what I'm talking about here in just a second. So what we have here is a scope. It's a Penty or Westlake or Sea Life. I don't think it's a Westlake because Westlake marks theirs. So Sea Life marks theirs. So it has to be a Penty. I'm pretty sure Penty's the one that doesn't mark theirs. Anyway, I went to turn this a couple of weeks ago and I'm just now getting to it. And I was turning it here, which is where I normally turn, and this started turning like that right there. And that's what happened. And it's just glued on that boss right there. So I took all the glue off of it, and it just looked like black RTV gasket maker is what it looked like. But it wasn't enough on it. That's why it ended up being that way. But before we get started, let's see if we can't remove the light. Alright, if you notice guys, check this out. Got me a clamp on there. Oops, sorry about that guys. Got a Picatinny rail on there, and I like mine there so my light rests right here and doesn't take up any more room of the size of the gun. So, but anyway, back on topic. So, what I have here is some black RTV gasket maker, and we're going to try to put a little skim on this. We could skim the inside of this, but what's going to happen is this is going to push what's in here into a big ball at the end of it, and then it'll start locking up. It'll stick this together, and that is not supposed to stick. So that's got to move. So you have to put it on this side, on the basal side. So when this pushes up on it, it will push everything up into the corners, and then you'll just have to take a rag and a brush. I usually use a rag or to start off with and get the biggest part of it, and then I'll take the brush and brush it and then rag it again until you can't see none of it at all. So the first thing we need to do is to figure out which one's which. So I grabbed my other scope and put it on infinity, which is all the way this way, which is where I have it. So now I know that I need to glue this where this is at that mark, where the infinity is. So you can do that on the infinity, or you can do it on the 10-yard one. But we want to do it on the infinity just because that's what I want to do. So now we got to figure out what the best way to put that on there to apply it so that we don't get any in this crack right in here. So I'm going to try a paintbrush. And the good thing is we can turn it right here as we paint it. So put that back to its stopping point. And then I'll grab a paintbrush and see if we can't get this ball rolling. Alright, so what I've done is I went and got a brush, and this has got stiff bristles, and we're dealing with RTV gasket maker, so it's really thick. So you kind of want a real stiff bristle. So we're just going to take some of this. And you definitely want to get your shit together and get all that off of there, because the least little bit you leave in that brush after you're done you've ruined that brush. And I've used this brush many times for this, so I clean my brushes. Alright, so now we'll just squeeze a little bit of this out. This tube I had to work on it with a drill bit because it got stopped up. And it's back to being stopped up. So we're going to have to drill it again. Alright, so now I'll let that dry, and that'll never move ever again. I've used this stuff on the GPS suction cup on my dashboard, and I've never lost a GPS. In fact, when you go to take it back off the dash, good luck. That's how good that stuff works. So that makes a really nice glue, especially when you've got two surfaces that are machined to fit nice and snug to begin with. So after this dries, I'll go around and inspect it with a magnifying glass and make sure that I get everything down in these little cracks. And I think I got it all anyway, but we'll go back and make sure. So that's how you fix a scope that the indicator come loose on. I don't know what to call this video because I don't know what that's actually called. And my toe's trying to draw up on me. So now I'll go ahead and put my light back on it, and I have positioned it to where the nut is down underneath, so it's not seen out here. Yeah, I could have put it on top, but I like to work for it. Plus, if I've got it so too tight, I won't be able to get it off. This way, because it's so tight in there of an area, you really can't get it too tight. So, you know, I don't want it tight. I want it to be able to reach up there and loosen it off if I'm out hunting somewhere and stick it in my pocket, and then I can. Or I can move it around to the other side. Either way, it's going to be in the way. So, you know, I like for it to be easy access. But those turned out to be really nice clamps. And you've got about a 1.5 inch of allowance there, because it's about 1.5 inch, maybe 2 inch. I don't think it's quite 2 inch long. And this will fit scopes. It will actually fit this, or it won't fit this now because I put wrap on it instead. At first, I had this mount up here, and the light was under here. Well, I had a switch on it, but for some reason the damn switch wouldn't work on one of them, and they just looked god-awful. I like it better right there. I don't like it out there making my end of my gun heavy. So I decided to move it, and I went and got one of them scopes. I got to looking at it. I said, I bet you a scope would fit right on that, or that would fit right on a scope. And it turns out that the scope is the same size as the Diana Storm Rider suppressor. And I bet you some gun air tubes, if they've got a wide enough gap, you could use it on an air tube on some of your air rifles. So if you didn't have a shroud on the Benjamin Discovery, you would be able to use one of these on the tube, the air tube on a Benjamin Discovery. So Just ideas, guys. But anyway, there is my scope fix. I hope you guys got something out of this or learned something. Don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe. Have your Trump coffee. You guys have a good one. Later.